welkom. 1, 2, 3. Nog een. Ons het 1 plek. 2, 3. 3 asseblief, 3. Allemaal kom in. Hier is nog eens. Die is een melkkoot. Milkwood. Engels en Afrikaans, hè? Die is melkkoot. Wat is die? Melkkoot. Ja, milkwood. Wie onthou nog die ene? Sê wat is die? Assagai. Wat is die? Sê vir my assagai. Right. Wie wil 'n assagai boom plant? Okay. Sien julle vir die anties en die mense daar agter ons? Hulle gaan saam met ons help om die bome te plant, okay? So hulle is nou besig om die gatte te maak en dan julle gaan saam plant, okay?
Hi, my name is Caroline Peterson. I'm the chair of the National Steering Committee for the GEF Small Grants Programme in South Africa. So we are a group of people who volunteer our time to help guide the program in South Africa and to help select the projects that are going to be the most impactful. So one of the reasons that we chose this project was because it's really doing a lot for the environment, it's doing a lot for the people, it's bringing about socio-economic development, but it's also helping biodiversity conservation, and it's helping communities adapt to climate change as well. So it's a very multifaceted project. We can see that the community are working hard to grow vegetables. They're taking land which was abandoned, which was formerly cultivated but has been overgrown and isn't being used for anything. And they're restoring the productivity and the fertility to the soil, and then also growing vegetables which can help to feed the community, also can be sold to create livelihoods for people. And then there's another part of the project which is all about restoring the forest, removing alien invasive vegetation like eucalyptus trees or black wattle trees from along the riverbanks, allowing the water to flow in the river again because the trees were choking the river, allowing the indigenous natural vegetation to come back, like the cueboom trees that grow along the river naturally. And they've even planted a beautiful dense forest called the Miyawaki forest, where a number of indigenous forest tree species will be planted densely in a small area and will grow back and allow a reconnection between that forest and the natural forest along the river. And the school children have been involved in planting the trees and watering the trees. So it's very much a community effort, and hopefully in time will bring more economic development to the town, to all parts of the wider Clarkson community. So we think it's really exciting, and it's great to see the first crop. We helped to harvest the first crop of vegetables today. It's great to see the trees growing in the reforestation, and it's very exciting. So congratulations to the community.
So what we're trying to do is to reintroduce vegetable production for food security, home or household food security. And we're trying out, it's an experimental phase, how to grow vegetables here and not to use poison in any way. So we have a battle to get rid of the grass, which are very difficult to get rid of, and they regrow all the time, and to see which vegetables would be the most effective and efficient to grow here, and also how to plant it, and how to have a system that will be sustainable and that we can build the soils over time. So we don't want to deplete the soils with the first few crops. We want to build it up over time, and we're not in that phase yet. We just try to grow vegetables. We hope to focus on a few crops like beetroot, carrots, sweet potato, and pumpkin. And the main reason for that is you don't have to use so much poison to keep the insects away and other diseases. So that is what we want to focus on. One of our challenges is that the soil gets easily waterlogged, and that's why we have to plant the vegetables on ridges to keep the feet dry, otherwise it would just die, and it's not good, and the pH is also very low, so we have to push up the pH slightly, build ridges and plant the vegetables. But to bring in vegetables in this soil that's been lying fallow for 20 to 30 years is very difficult because of the grass that's here, and because we've chosen not to use poison, Roundup in this case, to kill the vegetation and then plant. So it's a constant battle to get rid of the indigenous grass that are growing here.
I am Mr. Aswanj Makale. I'm from the Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment Department in Pretoria. I'm working under the branch Biodiversity and Conservation. My responsibility is to coordinate the implementation of the United Nations Convention to combat desertification at a national level. Today we visited one of our projects, which is funded by the Global Environment Facility Small Grant Programme, which is being coordinated by the United Nations Development Programme. This project is located in Clarkson and in Eastern Cape. Is focusing on issues of agriculture, issues of alien invasives clearing, and issues of addressing food security, but most importantly also involving young people around the Clarkson community. So as a government, we have developed what we call the National Action Programme, which is the program aimed or plan, which is aimed at addressing issues related to land degradation, desertification and drought. So this is part of the initiative we call Great Green Wall Initiative for the Southern Africa Development, which is the initiative initiated by the African Union Commission, started in the Sahara Sahel. So we are implementing this initiative as well at the Southern Africa Development Community. So we visited the project as part of the project that has been funded by the small grant to see what is being done by the project, what is the progress, and if the program is being aligned with the objectives of the Great Green Wall Initiative, where we have got different pillars. One of the pillars is focusing on addressing food security. There are also pillars focusing on addressing issues of water security. There are also pillars focusing on addressing issues of agriculture, climate resilience. So this project is well aligned with some of the pillars under the Great Green Wall Initiative for the Southern Africa Development. And I would like to encourage the community to join hands with the Clarkson project and to try to find a common ground in terms of implementing the project to ensure the project it also benefit the community, but most importantly it can also create jobs and provide skills development. Congratulations to the community of Clarkson for this project. Thank you.
We're using the Miyawaki method of afforestation. This method originated from Japan. And what it teaches us is to plant endemic species really close to each other, and that's what we are doing here at the Koksbos in Clarkson. We are planting 3 to 4 trees per square meter. All the trees are endemic to the region. So where we are standing right now, it was completely infested with alien species like blue gum, like acacia, the wattle? They call it the black wattle, they call it acacia here, and also the Port Jackson. So this, where we are standing here, it was completely infested and starting to really choke the river system behind us. That was affecting the security of the future water of the community. So we cleared the forest, the alien forest that was here. Now we are replacing it with endemic species that are original to the area.
Is an acacia saligna that this is a Port Jackson, eh? This must get cleared quick. This must get cleared quick. They are monsters. Okay, cool. So this is the section of the invasive forest that is slowly being cleared. This entire space was actually cleared out. So what you're seeing in the distance in the back with a fine leaf is black wattle. And then right above us here is Acacia saligna, otherwise known as Port Jackson. And then on that side, you'll see some blue gums, which is our three major invaders currently in the space. There are major tree species that's invading here. So currently the guys are focusing, they've been focused on the black wattle because they're easier to cut, and then with more experience and more practice, they're moving on to the thicker stem trees like the blue gum. You'll now see a lot of the pioneer species shrubbery coming up, and you've got one or two invaders in between them. So the first invader we got is the grass that we don't necessarily want. So it's the one thing that needs to come out. The next one next to the grass is the bramble bush. Yeah, it's this baddie. All right. Makes a wonderful berry that is amazing. It's sweet, it's edible, birds love it. And the problem with this species is they grow rife rapidly. They sprawl, which means they can grow from the ground through tree canopies. And all it takes to propagate this bad boy is for a bird to sit on it, have a berry, fly off, and a few moments later, it will pull the berry out somewhere. And that berry just germinates. The seed inside the berry just germinates, and you've got another plant. So these are really tough to control. This and the grass is one of, well, two of the only crops that we're wanting to remove from this space. The other species you see around, like this field daisy, the UNOPS, and we've got Metallasium muricata, which is this guy over here. Yeah, they're all very, very vitally important fynbos, and we actually found a lot in the forest, which is exciting because then they integrate into the space and they fall the mid canopy, so your shrub canopy. We're planting the tree canopy, these are the shrub canopy, and we will slowly start to integrate of species we actually found in the back of the forest called pennywort. It's a round little leaf like this that acts as a ground cover, and that way we'll have all three of the canopies filled. So the reason that we haven't had the guys clear the space completely is because there's very important ecological, like, beneficial species that's existing here that will help with the pollinators, it will help with the attractant of animal species into the space. So there's great value and importance in maintaining some of the particular species in the space, and until someone's around that is learned enough to consistently and constantly supervise it while it gets cleaned, I don't think right now is a good idea to have it cleaned, just to ensure that conservation of these important species in between here, because to the unlearned eye, it's just onkruid, it's just weeds, pull them out. Interesting fact of this space and this invasive forest is, this is the brush that we've cut down, as well as over there's another massive pile that we've cut down over the past couple of weeks. And from these piles, we actually cut all the stakes for the forest. So all the pins that you'll see on the pathway that we used to kind of mark out the edge of the pathway was all cut from this forest. And then you'll notice all the weaving material in between each and every stake. All that weaving material is invasive species that's getting cut out of this forest. So we're taking the invasive species and we're creating functionality in the forest by using it as stakes, pins, as well as mulch. We're actually going to continue the rest of the day getting some mulch out of this forest in the form of fresh green leaves that we can then lay down on the surface as a nice coat of protection, just so that we while integrating the invaders into the forest in a beneficial way, while we slowly begin to clear them out bit by bit.
So as you can see, we are planting endemic species really close to each other to mimic the nature. So we have an assagai next to a Cape holly, next to a waterberry, next to a honeysuckle, next to a wild plum. And this is basically how you would find an indigenous forest further up the stream. If you continue about 2 kilometers up the stream, past all these alien trees, you will come across an indigenous forest, fairly untouched, that gave us some guidance of what to plant and also the density to plant. So here we are planting 3 to 4 trees per square meter, and this is essentially going to form a canopy over a very short amount of time. These trees, the moment we planted them, they're going to go into competition. They're going to compete for sunlight, they're going to compete for water, they're going to compete for energy, and essentially instead of growing out sideways, they're going to grow upwards. And after 2 to 3 years, we're going to have a canopy, and over here we have a little bit of an outdoor classroom where we started the forest Yeah, so this is a little bit of an opening in the forest where it can be used by the school, as you saw earlier, a little bit of an outdoor classroom, as well as a place for community members to congregate. This is a common pathway that we are on that connects the two main streets of Clarkson, and this is the, I believe it's called the Peace Bridge, and this bridge is a frequented bridge crossed by a lot of community members commuting with us from Lansdowne to the side, or from the side to Smartytown or Kirk Street. This is a very common bridge that is crossed by many community members on a daily basis.
So Yanni is currently taking each of the trees and he's dunking them in the IMOs. Inside here we've got water-soluble calcium phosphate made from mammal bones that were charred. We've got lactic acid bacteria made out of rice water and milk, amaranth fermented plant juice, comfrey fermented plant juice, banana fermented fruit juice, fish amino acids made out of sardines and Cape hot nut, as well as IMO2 that was caught on Table Mountain. He then waits for all the bubbles to stop bubbling, which is an indicator that all the organisms that's suspended in the liquid has now infiltrated the bag, filled up the soil body, so that when we bring that soil body out and insert it into the earth, it's like we're putting lollipops of microbial densities or concentrated microbial counts. That then, as you can see, the spacing of the trees works really well for those microbes to eventually colonize the space well before their hands. It's very short before their hands actually meet. They'll colonize all the spaces between the trees, and then eventually the entire pathway and the remaining forest yonder, which I've just heard that we're looking to expand in the next couple of intakes. So yeah, I think that's the entire process. Once they go in the ground, it's just a microbial lollipop that takes off and colonizes the space around it.
Here we are planting a wild plum tree with tepo, and what we are doing is he has already prepared the hole, and so he went as deep as this for the hole plus a little bit more above, and he's going to put it now into the hole. He's removed the plastic already, which is good. You must remove the plastic, of course, before you plant a tree, in case you didn't know. Some people don't know, and you find them planting with plastic. It's scary. So he's loosening the tree, and then after we remove the tree from the plastic, we are going to loosen a little bit of the roots. Say nice simple. Let's loosen a little bit of the roots underneath, as you can see, giving it a little bit of a tickle. Okay, there we go. He's ready to go into his place. The wild plum. Okay. So let's first cover him with the soil before we press him down. So now we're covering him with his soil. And then what Tepo's going to do now is he's going to press into the four corners of the tree. And this is, we don't want to completely remove all the air because there's still air in the trees, they need the air. So Tepo is only making in each corner, on the other corners, yes, we are pressing down in. And what this does is this keeps the oxygen inside the hole for the tree in his new place, and it secures him nicely. He's secure now. Here we go, and we planted a wild plum.
Okay, so we're just coming into the Keerboom forest now, which are these monsters. Easily identified by this very linear-like bark. I've noticed that it's very good to identify these trees by their bark more than their leaves even. Right? And you can see the tall canopy species, they get very, very tall, up to 30 meters. And I've got a very simple leaf. It's also compounded like the Cape ash. Got a compound leaf, petiole, with petioles coming off from the main branch. And it's very easily identifiable by the flower, but right now it's seed set season. Yeah, so we'll see loads and loads of seeds, but we won't see much flowers. Here we go. Here's a nice example of a flower. That's a really good example of what the flower looks like. They look like little upside down birds. And the importance of this species in these types of environments are they are known as the soil contributors or the soil conditioners. They've got this amazing mechanism in their roots. There's microbes and bacteria that live on nodes of the root of Vigilia auroboides, and they fix nitrogen from the atmosphere through the leaves into the stem, down into the root system, and slowly start pumping it out into the soil. as a source of food for all of those around it, making it a very beneficial crop and one of the most powerful pioneer species in the Western, Eastern and Northern Cape forests that still exist.
My name is Anele Moyo. I am the National Coordinator for the GEF Small Grants Programme based in Pretoria. It's a small town with a big vision, I believe, in terms of the restoration that we saw. I believe there's a lot that the community has in store of what is coming. So we didn't expect to see what we saw, but I'm looking forward to the results that might come through. That was quite heartwarming for me because it gave me a purpose in terms of when I look at that tree, that it's attached to a memory of someone. So that actually puts value to not only the process of planting, but on what I was planting, the tree itself. That when I look at it, I remember someone about that tree. So if it's something that the community can uphold in terms of their values, to say that that forest is attached to a remembrance of someone, there is ownership to it, and there's value to that plant or the tree. So I will never look at it in a different way. I will take value and pride in that tree. Or if the community has that attachment to a certain plant, they will always look back and say that is attached to my grandmother, my grandfather, and I put value to it.